Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I have an updates available thing up there.
It don't want to go, you guys. It don't want to go, you guys. Okay, I'll put myself in, or should we just like try to let it go?
We'll pretend that didn't happen.
Here it goes.
Oh.
Whoa.
Can you believe that? We didn't screw that up at all after all that time. There's no pointer in the shot still.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Infinity times Infinity Studios.
Oh.
New year, new
gee.
Infinity,
Same
and we already
old-
messed that up.
Same old situation.
The intro tends to get messed up on purpose these days, I think. Like,
We got a switchuation,
was it?
if you will.
I mean, what was that update? I guess there was an update for Apple.
Yeah.
The MacBook Air was wanting to update. Sometimes technology does that. The other day, the computer asked me if I wanted Windows 11.
Did you?
Okay, so on my son's computer, I didn't go to it yet.
Okay. But on yours you did?
On mine, I did not. But on my laptop, I did, just to make sure it was good.
And what
That's
happened?
not my main computer.
Okay. So what happened now?
So
Is it destroyed?
it's running fine
It's not destroyed.
as of right now. But it's the first iteration of a Windows 11. You know something's gonna go wrong.
I'm scared to mess with that. I'm not going to do that.
You should probably wait until all the bugs are fixed.
A
at
studio
least.
can't do it.
Yeah, true.
Lots of things don't know what that is.
Lots of things don't. They just
So
get mixed up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's our impromptu topic of this week, right? Is updates and the software and physical renovation in the new year, right?
The physical. Yes,
the
exactly.
upkeep involved,
Exactly.
both
I mean-
virtual and physical in the real life.
The physical, actual aspect of updating things, like it's nice to have updates if they're just going to if they're adding value to whatever it is. Like the problem is when they update and the value isn't added at all. In fact, the bugs make it buggy and things get messed up. Like earlier today, Dan was telling me that he was trying to update his IK multimedia monitors. Is that right?
No, it's actually their software package.
The software
it's
package.
The Total Studio Max package that they offer. It's basically supposed to be their all-inclusive suite of software, right?
Right.
So it has Sample Tank, it has Amplitube, and it has T-Rex and Mixbox, the Hammond B3. All their stuff. Moto Bass, Moto Drum. I mean, ARC, their speaker calibration stuff.
Oh yeah. We use that a lot.
Yeah. That's how we got into this, is buying the ARC. And then
ARC.
I got the upgrade to Total Studio 2 off of the ARC thing.
Cool.
Well, it was cool until Total Studio 3.5 came out. And now, when you buy that, you don't get the newest stuff.
You don't get the newest stuff, you guys. In the update, you don't get the newest stuff.
Can you believe this?
Can you believe this, you guys? So, just so you know, if you're in the IK multimedia, if you use the ARC for listening to speakers and monitors with,
Yeah, we probably talked briefly about it during the Head series because we were showing you speakers being played through it.
right.
We didn't actually use it then because it was just a comparison between two speakers. So
Yeah.
it was off, I imagine, but maybe we talked about it subsequently to that. At one point, we had a stream that was dedicated to the ARC stuff mostly.
Okay. So, if you don't know about the ARC, make sure to look through our list of streams.
Yeah, go check that one
Look
out.
for ARC.
That one is about using a microphone in each of, I think, 21 different positions, 7 positions on 3 different heights
Right.
to calibrate your speakers to be flat in your room.
Do they have a machine that will calibrate your ear holes?
Mm,
I mean, I guess basically headphones.
well, there's a company that will calibrate headphones to a flat frequency response.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they measure your specific pair of headphones and change it fundamentally
Oh wow.
and send it back to you flat.
Flat.
Yeah. Or
Wow.
send a profile back. I don't know. That works in the software. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's a profile for those specific headphones.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think maybe they physically do anything. It's just instead of using an average measurement of all those different specimens of a specific brand and model of headphones,
Yeah.
they just, instead of the average, they use the actual measurement for that individual unit.
Oh, so it's even more custom than what you would get. just
Well,
off
yeah,
of
for headphones where there may be inconsistencies in each individual,
Oh yeah.
there
It's
would make
shaded.
more of a difference.
Right.
But a lot of the higher end ones are like matched pairs, so they may be off of the ideal or the average, but they're off in the same way, so that they're matched within a decibel of each other across the entire frequency spectrum. Like in Sennheisers, like the HD 650s,
Right.
for example.
Huh. You know what's funny is that we're talking about headphones,
Yeah.
and lately you've been using the headphone monitors in the studio.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, and that's another company that has become involved called Soundworks.
Soundworks.
Sonarworks. I think it's called Sonarworks.
Okay.
Yeah. It used to be called Sonarworks. Something else. Now it's called Sound ID. Sonarworks Sound ID.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know somebody came in and like fired everybody, and they were like, "Okay, let's
Right? There's a Sound ID guy.
Let's change the name."
There's certainly a Sound ID guy because the old Sonarworks,
Okay.
whatever it was called, again, I guess wasn't good enough or something.
Yeah, somebody in
Reference.
marketing
It was called Sonarworks Reference
That's
headphone.
kind of cool. I like
Sonarworks Reference headphone and Sonarworks Reference studio monitors or speakers version or something.
Okay.
So I just got the headphones version for like a 30 or 40% off sort of deal.
Okay.
And that's why the headphones have been more recently being incorporated into the mix for monitoring.
Right.
But that's one of two reasons. The other one being that when you're standing in front of the rack, you can't hear the speakers like you're sitting in the mixed position
Right.
anymore. So when you move from the mixed position, it doesn't sound. You can't tell anymore whenever subtle things happen that are different.
Uh-huh.
So the headphones carry that mixed position
Wherever
on your
you
head
go.
to right in front of the rack.
Right. And then some other interesting things about headphones that you've recently showed me is the open back headphones.
Yeah. The old Sennheiser open back headphones that I had, the HD 580 Precision ones, were the first open backs that we had in here.
Right.
And then recently I got the Mass Drop / now just called the Drop version of the 650s, which are called the HD 6XX. But they're the HD 650s, just with like a different headphone cable and different paint on it or something. But it can be sold for a lot less because it's not the HD 650 sold by Sennheiser, you know?
Right.
But it's all the same components and it's just exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, in your eyes, it's actually a really good.
Yeah. I got it for about half the price that Sennheiser is asking for theirs. So.
Right.
And I had seen a used pair of HD 650s for $200.
Right.
So I bought new ones for less than that. Essentially.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
pretty
really
crazy.
good price.
Yeah,
Sure.
but the thing is that with the open headphone design, you aren't sealed in. Like when it's cups that don't have any air coming through, it feels like your head's in a box,
Oh yeah.
and it sounds like everything's in a container with the
Right.
sealed ones, right?
Exactly.
Which can be kind of a good thing because then you can concentrate on it.
You can
it's like
solo out certain
a thing you
sounds.
can like think and listen. But
Yeah.
because of that, it's also kind of like having your head inside of a subwoofer for the low end,
Right.
you know, or like the same concept as a bandpass box where there's a port and they're firing at a spot that then shoots it through the port. It's not actually subwoofer. It's a tuned version of it.
Right. It's making
So
a certain sound.
with the sealed headphones, you do have kind of an artificially created sealed container environment that your head's in.
Yeah.
Where with the open ones, it sounds like it's like in the room, like the not really coming from headphones anymore. You know, it's like it's more like listening to speakers.
Yeah.
But also the low end is able to be controlled.
Uh-huh.
And so transients, low-end transients in particular, are well represented.
Right.
Because it can have a low-end response that is much more responsive.
Okay.
As a result of not being sealed. You
Not
know,
being stuck in a
a
box.
low in a sealed,
Right.
it makes for resonance and something that changes the overall tone of the sound of the bass.
Right. So it kind of like changes the sound of what the bass would sound like. So if you're trying to listen to it and actually pick it apart, it needs to be flat as hell if possible.
Well, and you know, you just need to hear each individual part well. And I think
Yeah. Uh-huh.
if your bass is being manipulated in a way that doesn't sound quite natural, then it's harder to tell what other things are doing. The bass is the strongest type of sound in the mix, so that's why it's the one that's the most sensitive to deal with and is often the challenge in a mix.
Uh-huh.
Low end in general is something that's a little bit more complicated to control than just like a simple explanation, you know?
Right. For sure.
But in headphones, in an open headphone situation, what you have is something similar to the difference between tweeters and those air motion transformers on the heads.
Oh, yeah.
You know, how they
Right.
make a timpani sound like it's real. The snap
Sounds
is...
so good.
Well, I think the headphones probably are providing something similar because of the open design in terms of their reactivity.
Right.
It's kind of the opposite of the ported versus closed design in the speakers thing, right?
Yeah.
Because a port, when we've plugged the portholes in there on the heads, as y'all will
Bada
see
boom.
in the head series, we plugged it
Bada boom.
and called it case closed in episode 4
Yeah. Case
because we were
closed.
closing the case with port plugs. Right? The cases are now closed.
The case is closed.
And,
You can go back to that video and reopen it if you want.
Yeah, but the point is that with the closed design, you have more tight and reactive bass stuff too. So that's another reason why the timpani was clearer, not just the air motion transformer, but also the ported, plugged ports,
Plug ports. Right.
the unported situation,
Yeah.
essentially.
So
We radically unported our speakers.
we unported, we outported,
Yeah, we done
we
plugged.
exported.
Yeah, the ports have been exported. You know, all the ports are no longer.
We deported.
Yeah,
You
the
can't-
ports have been deported back to their home countries. Okay, you leave this country, you come back whenever you
Deport
know
this.
it's okay.
Deport this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, ESPN Deportes. That's what that means, right?
right. So sport, you know, sport.
Okay.
Okay, anyway.
Viewers, you know that we know that means sports.
You know that we know what we're talking about. But
So that's why we can kid with you, and you can tell that we're not incompetent.
right, exactly. And so with headphones, I feel like Dan, since you grew up doing DJ type stuff, like headphones were
my
super
world,
important.
My world was a headphones world, right?
Right.
This type of headphones that has a folding situation right here, they called these DJ headphones
Audio Technica.
back in the day because of this folding situation, right? I guess they thought a DJ needed to be portable with their headphones, you know. Just fold it right up and run with it like this. But, you know, it's not much more portable. But, you know, as a result of that DJ design, I think a lot of these studio monitor headphones are kind of similarly designed.
Yeah.
So that's how these Audio Technica M50X
Yeah. M50X.
headphones be doing.
Right. And so back in the day, when he was DJing, DJs were kind of considered outlaws, man. They were like,
Yeah,
they needed to fold up real quick. Like,
yeah, I was kind of like a Robert Rodriguez protagonist,
yeah.
right? Like walking around with a guitar case full of ammunition and guns.
But instead, they were like disc holders and
They were records. They were a crate of, it was a crate of records and a bag of
And you just,
folded
like,
up headphones.
you sling them at them.
Yeah.
It's like
They're like, you know,
just a bloody mess. Like,
yeah.
Out
What
there.
are those super hardcore throwing stars called? Like the ones that are just
shuriken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be like shuriken.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
throw those.
vinyl that is shaped with like sword-like edge,
Yeah.
and it would just be like slit your throat right away.
Gone.
That's one deadly ninja right there. I mean,
That is one deadly silent ninja.
yeah,
Like,
silent, and you need no money because you retrieve your weapon.
You
And
get it back. You
retrieve
don't
and
leave
reuse
fingerprints. Obviously.
You
gotta-
retrieve and reuse it for free each and every time.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no ammunition cost, no maintenance cost really, other than your time.
No, yeah. And when you're about to leave, you just ninja vanish with like some smoke, right? Like,
Yeah. So basically, DJs are the ninjas of the music world.
yeah, you'd show up at warehouses. You'd go in there, tear it up,
Warehouses sometimes that we weren't supposed to be in necessarily.
right? Tear it up, tear it down,
Tear it up.
Get
tear
out
it
there.
down.
and get out of there as fast as
Down
you
like
could.
a clown, Charlie Brown.
Right.
You
So,
know, that's how it
anyway,
was back in my day.
headphones were super important for him to monitor.
Yeah, headphones are basically your world as a DJ because that's your only opportunity to hear what's happening before you give it to the world out there. You know, other than your speaker, your monitor speaker in the booth. Oftentimes they'd have a monitor speaker set up,
Oh,
but it's generally a one speaker in mono
yeah.
of your song, and it's not
Yeah,
terribly
that-
helpful, frankly. So the headphones are really the most important way to
Monitor.
cue mix.
Q mix.
Essentially, is what you call it, because you're hearing something that you don't yet present to the crowd until you are okay with it, and you can do that by previewing the tracks with the mixer's functions.
Right.
So
Just like I can preview what's going to come up next
yeah,
in our feed.
he's the video
See that?
DJ. You know what I'm saying?
You know what else? Like
He's throwing DJ mix down.
the VJ needs to have headphones as well to
Yeah,
monitor audio with.
yeah. Oftentimes we connect the headphones to that tablet there or to the computer when we're streaming to make sure that there's sound coming. Which
Right.
I'm sure there is this time, right? I
I'm
think
sure. I'm
we
sure
already
there is
tested
this
that,
time.
so-
Let's go ahead and plug these headphones in. Let's see.
Let's see.
May as well.
Let's see what we have here.
What do we got? I got the little brother to the ATH over there. I think this is.
Do those work okay in an iPad? I think
Yeah, they usually do.
They've got the 3 stripes, so they're really for
They're really for.
a phone that has the 3 stripe in
These are
jack.
serious for a phone.
But I think they also work on the iPad. So I think it's because an iPad can use it is a 3 stripe jack. I think inside an iPad
Yeah, I think so.
because you can use a headset with the iPad.
This is an older iPad that has one of the.
Yeah, it's got the actual headphone jack.
Yeah, let's see here.
So you know, the only good iPad.
I always look inside of these to see.
Almost always, if it has a cord, the cord's on the left.
Well, the cord's on both sides on this one.
Interesting.
You see
Okay. Well. Okay, your markings.
Okay, it
are-
says right.
There you go.
Great.
You got it.
It actually said right, which is
Yeah, instead of an R
Pretty
and an L,
amazing.
it just says right on there. So, can you hear anything coming out of there? Is there no sound?
I could hear you coming out of here.
Okay.
Oh, I could hear me coming out of here too. There's a delay, you guys.
Yeah, it's like a 4-second delay that he's experiencing. So he's within the vortex right now,
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons why it's called Infinity Times Infinity Studios.
Right.
We exist within a time capsule of time and space,
Uh-huh.
that cannot be real because it's being multiplied on itself. So,
well, once it gets laid into the live stream, it goes out into the ether, just into the
this is
realm.
a similar incantation to Wanda's within the WandaVision series, if you've seen that.
I haven't seen that. I haven't finished that yet.
But you started it?
I watched one episode.
Oh man, it's tough to get through even the first one, right? Because it's so
it's like
sitcom.
old school.
Oh,
it's
you gotta.
old school.
I got some bad news for you, Billy. There's another one that's like that. Before
A
they
whole
start
other
changing,
one?
yeah. You watch
I did like the Loki series though. Like Loki
oh,
was
dude!
good.
But I think this one's good too.
Okay, cool.
It just you have to. You
just
gotta
gotta
really.
wait.
You
gotta
really gotta stick with this one. Like,
Okay, I'm excited.
An unreasonable amount of you really gotta stick with it because yeah.
I mean, I used to like old shows like that, like I Love Lucy. I would watch.
Oh well,
some
then you might be
old,
okay.
Old stuff, but I'd have to be in the mood for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that first episode is the one that's got the '50s version, which I think is I Love Lucy. So you got to experience that one, but you know, you're a TV watcher. You'll get the next one too, and then you'll start to understand, and you know, it just gets more tripped out from there. Oh, I think my mic's not quite pointed at me. Let me see if I can get it a little better.
What do you guys think out there? Maybe you can put it in the comments. Is it mic aimed at him correctly?
There we go. Now you probably hear me a little better.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, let's get these.
Now my radio voice applies again. Can I hear myself? Hello.
And welcome to
Hello, all of you out there in internet land.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Infinity Times Infinity Studios.
And welcome to Movie Phone.
Welcome to Movie Phone.
I don't know if you guys ever knew about this, but like back in the day, when people used landlines, there was a thing called Movie Phone.
Yeah.
And it would tell you when movies were, where.
Yep. Well, yeah, it would say a theater, and then it would say all the movies and their times.
Yeah, all the movies.
In serial. In a long phone call. That was free because we were using landlines and you paid by the month for a service like that only.
Yeah.
They couldn't charge you per occurrence like they can in the digital world now.
Right. Yeah.
They don't anymore, luckily. But for a time, you young whippersnappers out there, you're lucky because for a time, cell phone services were paid by the use.
By the use.
Text message plan.
Don't even call to like out of country, okay? That's like a collect call or something, or is
that's like international.
That's
call.
An international.
An international.
Wait, but there were
call.
Collect calls. What were the collect calls? I forgot what that.
That's like collect calls are like that international thing, right?
They just start charging you at the butt.
What about a collect international call? That'd probably be like $75 a minute.
A collect international call.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Spain. Collect.
Just call Spain real quick. Collect.
Yeah, call my buddy in Spain. Collect. You wouldn't mind, would you?
It's kind of just like pooping out dollar bills, you know, as you're on the phone.
You know what's crazy is I think you can international call on cell phones now, and it's like within your plan a lot of times.
It's within your plan, I think.
There used
otherwise,
to be.
you could use like an app to just freaking talk to somebody over Skype or what is it, WhatsApp and like all that.
Yeah. The people now even Zoom for like private things that aren't a meeting. You know, they just use Zoom. And Skype. You know, Skype. Microsoft's thing used to be called like Teams and Hangouts and stuff like that. Google Hangouts.
They still have that. I think.
Yeah, I think they changed the name of it. But,
yeah.
You know, it's all just the same thing. It's just like
video conference.
A video conference. Every single time is just a video conference. It's nothing other than that. So
that's good.
Now we're in the future.
We're here in the future.
Where you can talk to someone on your phone with FaceTime or with video calling.
Yeah. Imagine how many things the smartphone overtook between that time to now, you know, like
Yeah, even voice over IP is like just not even necessary at all anymore because everyone has a cell phone.
Everybody's got a cell phone.
So
if you have a cell phone, you basically like have a Swiss Army knife of gadget, right?
You
in your
do. You
pocket.
really do, man. You can do basically anything with a cell phone, you know?
Uh-huh.
You could probably do a mobile recording studio off a cell phone at this point.
Yeah, you could create a whole career making selfies and vlogging about yourself.
Hey,
I think that's what we
really
do
a
here.
thing that's happened. Like,
It's kind of what we're doing
it
here.
sounds
It's
silly,
just-
but it's true.
Our selfies are on tripods, though.
Oh yeah, our selfies are getting lame. Our last two quadrants aren't really doing anything this week.
Let's see that third quadrant inside of the studio looks like it's moving around a little bit.
Throw the peace sign at this quadrant 3.
Do you guys want to see some drums? I mean, how's it going out there?
Peace and chicken grease in the Middle East.
Word to
Making
Big
breads
Bird.
with yeast.
Word to Big Bird. Let's see.
Word to Big Bird. There's the peace sign being thrown. I can see it.
New Year.
That's
new
how long it
infinity.
takes in my monitoring. New year and new infinity. You know, out
So-
with the old, in with the new.
So, what
And-
are the New Year's resolutions? What are we gonna do for this year?
Yeah, well, I don't know, you know. Last year we did a lot of good stuff. We recorded a band all at the same time for the first time with all the mics on everything.
Yes,
So, you know,
we did.
we've done all the same stuff with individual people a lot with tracking, you know. But now to do it in a live room, live mixing essentially with this Behringer X32 you see before me. Well, you don't
Next
see
level
it,
stuff.
it's right Chow.
Right chair.
That's something that I was able to.
Should I
utilize and
move?
learn
Should
from.
I move the third camera to show it?
You could, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, that's what this gimbal is for over
we're
here.
gambling hard again.
Woo! Time to
Yeah,
fly.
Camera 3
Time to fly, you
is
guys.
now the board. See the
So,
rainbow colors on my board? That's how I like to keep it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's blue on this side for the mix buses, yes, but
Yeah.
on the inputs, we're feeling a rainbow flavor.
Right. And
Mm,
so
Not necessarily the most visible on the
it's going
quadrant
back.
there, but
It's going back.
it's there.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, you can taste the rainbow.
Welcome. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the taste of a rainbow.
Anyway, we showed you the mixer. The mixer is cool.
Yeah, this mixer, I mean, we've talked about it a lot. It's the Behringer X32. It has the Midas preamps in it, so really super high quality preamps, you know. The Midas preamps are such that I felt that it was worthy of piping 16 of them into the control room, into the universal audio interfaces, right? So that we can have 16 additional inputs. 16
Inputs.
additional preamp inputs with Midas preamps.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff explaining that as well.
For sure.
The Behringer S16 box, the stage box that we put in the control room, is how we accomplished that. If you want to go check that episode out. Maybe
Right.
this is just like a year in review since it's the new year, right? We're
This
talking
is-
about.
This has been a great year. We worked with Reese on a cover. Reese was a fun project for sure.
Yeah, you know, that song is a really good song to cover, I think, you know?
Yeah, for
Because the guy's got a really characterful voice that he's singing it with, and she's got a very capable vocal style that she's adapted into like a characterful rendition of that guy's thing for that song.
Right.
You know? So to me, that was really very fulfilling to be a part of because it was like amazing to witness and to record and be a part of creating.
Right. Yeah, that project was awesome. That definitely like got us to a different level, you know, and then having the band in and you being able to record them live like whenever they came in was
Yeah,
pretty
I've got a
cool,
bunch
too.
of recordings. I've got a recording of drums that when you solo the drums, it's just drums because of the drum booth that you see there in quadrant 3.
Oh yeah, we made the drum
We
booth.
made the drum booth. You know, that was a series.
That was a stream. That
we
was
probably
serious.
should put those together as a series if we haven't done that already.
Yeah. The head speakers were obviously a huge.
Yeah, those were the main thing. You know, those are when we changed the main monitoring in the control room, the mix position. They ushered in a new era in the studio, really, because they're that significant of a difference between regular, conventionally designed Silk Dome tweeter 2-way monitors and 2-way monitors with AMTs on them.
Right.
Ribbon-like tweeters, basically, is what an AMT is. Air motion transformer, if you want to go check it out.
Yeah. Ribbon tweeters.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a little more complicated than that,
It's
actually.
more complicated. That's a simplified version.
Yeah, ask Oscar Heil and Klaus Heinz.
Yes. Thank you, guys. And
They can
Head
tell you.
actually,
Thank
followed us back or something.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you also to, Klaus and Freddie at Head Audio there. They really seem to have a great thing going. And they have actually increased in price, I noticed, since we acquired them. So we were lucky to have gotten in on the ground floor of availability and pricing there as well. So
yeah. The other thing that is always seems to be sold out is the Sling Studio and all of its stuff.
Yeah, the same gear that we've been using for this entire 60 episodes or so.
From 2019.
It's basically been sold out almost continuously on the main sites like B&H and whatnot.
Yeah.
And still continues to be kind of a little known secret or something. Like it's not as widespread as we thought it might be.
No.
And it might be because its niche is kind of a special thing.
Yeah.
But to see the quad view here before you that we are able to create along with the Sling Studio and this with phones as the cameras, the video cameras on some of the inputs and so forth, as we've described before, has been a big deal. So that's actually how this channel started, is we wanted to stream with the Sling Studio and for quad view cameras coming to you at once.
4 quad view cameras. We were able to do that successfully and many times.
You watched us implement it along the way with some bumps in the road.
A few bumps, yeah. Like in the beginning, you guys should check those.
The first episode,
videos.
I think we left up the first episode where there's no sound for the first 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah. There are a few episodes like that, but you sail through those.
One more recently, if you're a hardcore watcher, you will probably recall the last time that happened wasn't too very long ago.
Oh, yeah.
However, I do believe we replaced that so that you don't really hear the silence this time. We just basically edited out the minute.
We cut the block out of.
we cut the first minute and a half of silence out of there for you. So you're welcome out there. Thank you, and you're welcome, Internet, for viewing our special program.
Right.
And each episode, because they're all special in their own special way.
They're all very special. There was
just like you, the viewers of Infinity Times Infinity Studios.
Just like you guys. Exactly. You guys are special to us.
Infinity Times Infinity Studios Twitch page as well.
Yeah.
What's up to my Twitches
out there?
What's up to my YouTube?
So this is the funny thing, like going between Twitch and YouTube, like Twitch users are used to having like an 8-hour stream of something. They're like, okay, let's watch hours and hours of it.
Yeah, and there's a specific section in there that it used to be called Music and Performing Arts that actually went away and just got consolidated into music, essentially. And so we're in a music category where normally somebody actually just gets on there and plays requests, sings and plays a guitar or something for 4 or 5 hours. So since we don't do that, we're not quite perfect for their music category as it stands now, because there's no subcategory for like music
entertainment
creation, or I think there's a music production tag is about as close as we can get.
Yeah.
So we could tag our thing with music production. And,
we'll tag it for you guys.
Yeah, we'll tag it. We'll tag it in the Twitch verse. But we do have some live performance on here as well, so we're kind of partially qualified for both of the platforms that we are using, because YouTube's are almost always uploads, and people on YouTube's, their consistent comment is, "Why do you guys talk so much?"
Right.
This video is super long, and it's like, well, it's because it's a stream. It's not an upload. We didn't edit this. Yeah. We got on and put our face in front of the shit and hit live stream.
We should probably say that we're live, just like consistently throughout the video.
Right, every few minutes. Hey, this is a live
Hey guys,
stream.
We're live.
We're in Infinity Times Infinity Studios live, coming at you.
Live. Coming at you.
January 2nd, 2022.
2022. New year.
Right now.
Live.
It's not an upload, you know? No
Live
editing.
in your face.
No editing.
Karate chopping all the
Right.
way home. Let's go.
We're showing all our mistakes and all.
All of it.
You know?
So basically, we're just talking about the last year.
Yeah. If there's a stray ball hair falling off my shit, you might catch it.
You're welcome. You can
There
keep
you
that
go.
for you.
It's what happens because it's a live stream.
Because it's live.
Before a live studio audience that is in virtual reality land.
That's right.
And it includes maybe just us at the moment.
It is just us.
But, you
Is there
know,
anybody else out
sometimes
there?
someone jumps on and says, what's up? Or sometimes several people are watching, actually, depending on the subject matter, you know, people
Oh, yeah.
get interested. So
Yeah, if you're out there.
it's been fun to
say
interact.
hi.
That's another thing that's happened that we kind of didn't really expect or plan for is, you know, during Steve's performance, people jumped on and requested like
Started
some George
asking
Strait and he
requests.
played it. And, you
played
know,
it,
and
yeah.
some other times people jumped on and said, what's up? And, you know, it's been really fun and cool to have both platforms running at the same time. In fact, another in memoriam section that we could do for this stream would have to do with our triple streaming concept that this channel started with,
Yeah.
where we streamed to Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer.
Mixer. Do you guys remember Mixer?
Mixer is where we were taking off, man. Mixer, we had comments.
Xbox had this Mixer platform, and it started going everywhere.
Yeah, it turned into like a streamer platform, basically, just
Yeah.
like Twitch. And so people were on Mixer. I think they had like
People love that song. Mixer.
Ninja like switched from Twitch to Mixer for money or something at some
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So like Mixer was really a thing, and then it was gone. So we did lose a Mixer last year as well as another thing that happened. I think in 2021, right? Or
Was it 20?
It's probably in 2020.
Either one.
we may
Either
have-
one. It all just
We
kinda
probably started
mashes
this in
together.
late 2020 or something.
Yeah. So
So
we're actually not doing a third channel right now, which
yeah, we don't have a third stream. I think YouTube has got some sort of Facebook has got some sort of a streaming platform. Facebook gaming or something.
oh yeah, Facebook has their gaming. Yeah.
But, you know, it's called Facebook Gaming, so I don't think a lot of streamers are going to jump on there that aren't gaming.
That aren't gamers.
So, you
I
know,
mean, we
that's what they
game.
told whenever they shut down
Don't get us
Mixer.
wrong.
They were like, go over to Facebook Gaming and be part of that community instead. And I was like, no. Facebook is for old people. They don't know what they're doing.
Right. Well,
Fuck Facebook, basically.
well, it's not Facebook anymore. It's Meta.
Yeah, well, they can meta lick my balls.
So there's another interesting topic right there. Is that Facebook changed their name to Meta. People are looking towards the future, which is they're calling it the metaverse. And so Facebook took over Meta, and they bought Oculus a few years back. So now they're like trying to create this like Ready Player One Matrix scenario.
Yeah, they want to own the virtual reality of life, right? And so, if a company could, maybe they might be that company.
They could be that company.
You know?
I mean, they already have your information, so it's like
Yeah,
you're already a
they've
part of
mined all of your data so hard. Y'all got mined the fuck through.
it. Hey man, we've all
Mined hard. I've never had a Facebook account, and I never will. So I've been mined in other ways.
Yeah, there are other ways to mine.
Everything you touch, it mines
They
you.
know all
mines you
about
hard.
you. Let's stop talking about them. This is scary me. Okay,
Yeah.
so anyway, the future.
Just kidding. Love your Facebook.
When Terminators, like it's
because I was.
T-800s come out, okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's more like Agent
Yeah.
Smiths come out, right?
Yeah,
It's like-
dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, Elon Musk is actually right about some things, and one of them is that, like, we shouldn't just build AI indiscriminately because AI doesn't have a reason for you to exist once it's better than you.
Right.
And that's not going to take long. I
It's not
mean,
gonna
it's
take
pretty
long.
much going to consider itself better than you almost immediately.
Yeah.
So
So
good luck with that, right? Like,
yeah, it's cool. It's a good thing we know about technology. I mean,
yeah.
we're pretty much the last people to save people from the digital versus the analog, right?
Exactly, man. Like I used to play Tech Mobile. I listened to techno, you know.
Yeah.
So how much more
turntables with RCAs?
How much more? Yeah, RCAs are on turntables. I mean, how much more technology can you get than that?
From that,
huh?
You guys remember when video cameras were like giant? You know, like over the shoulder.
No,
like,
no. A lot of them don't. That's going to watch
don't.
this. They haven't seen that shit.
Man.
But before we were born, there was video cameras that were like a suitcase on someone's shoulder.
Yeah.
So.
They're like, they had to crank them.
They had to crank them and shit, you know. So it was crazy shit happening, and now, you know, welcome to the new universe here in 2022. Infinity times Infinityverse.
The universe. Okay,
so since there's the metaverse now, we have to formally acknowledge the Infinity times Infinityverse.
Right.
Which is where you are at this moment.
Yeah, exactly. You're visiting with us in the metaverse right now, actually.
No. The Infinity times Infinityverse is separate completely and distinct.
We would have to create one into the metaverse. Like, it's not made yet.
Maybe I'll shit one into it.
Yeah.
Like the toilet that it is.
Well, anyway.
Probably not, though. Probably the metaverse will never know this Infinity times Infinityverse exists.
Well,
I hope it won't.
Twitch and YouTube are not associated with Meta or Facebook.
Yeah.
So
not yet. Not that you know of.
Not yet.
Not that you know of.
Yeah. They could have already bought everything out.
I mean, it seems almost like Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are the same kind of alien. So I wouldn't doubt that the people that own Google and YouTube are also the same kind of alien. I'm pretty sure Google owns YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's the Alphabet company. Google's company, parent company.
Right.
They also own Twitch, I think.
Do they? Google owns Twitch now?
No, Amazon owns Twitch. So that's the other.
That's another conglomerate. That's
the insidious conglomerate. So we probably already have been mined so hard from Twitch that, you know, Facebook mining would look like a laughable situation.
Well,
because, you know, Jeff Bezos is mining us hard off of Twitch.
So people went from mining gold nuggets in the mountains to mining bitcoins in a server
in Colorado.
In the mountains.
Still in the mountains. Still in the mountains of Colorado, but
in
now
a server shack.
Now in a server shack.
Servers, video cards, mining Bitcoin. So you know, your fake money. The fake money and the real money, and it's all fake money. I mean, it all just has to do with people who value it. Is it being valued? Are people taking it for the current value that it's worth? And,
right.
You know,
that's the only value it has is the relative value, because it's not representative of any kind of real currency.
Yeah.
So it's like video game money, essentially.
It's basically based off of proof of work, which is those computers that are supposedly ruining the environment from using up all the energy to just find little bits of code that they need to decode. And then Bitcoin gets mined from that. So
yep. Yeah, that's mind-boggling just in and of itself.
Yeah.
There's stuff set up to mine Bitcoin that's just been mining Bitcoin for years.
But then again, there was a whole like universe inside of World of Warcraft where you could just mine gold coins, and then
I did do that
and trade that for actual money.
Yeah, honestly, this is what that feels like the most like to me. After having participated in a video game world economy, that's what NFTs and other cryptos remind me of.
Oh yeah, it's basically the whole thing reminds me of a video game universe where each crypto has its own. It's like playing your own video game where
it's going to have its own picture and its own icons of things. You know, each one for different levels, maybe, or something.
Right. Each idea is different. There's different rules that are enforced within those iterations, and then there's blockchains where where basically things are, from what I understand, are imprinted on the blockchain and it's public for everybody to see.
Yep.
So basically, the metaverse is going to be based off of, this is what people say, NFTs and crypto. That's where it's going to be based off.
Wow.
Is what people are saying.
The Muskaverse.
Right. The Muskaverse, of course. Elon Musk has sold NFTs at an insane amount. Did you know Grimes did too? We did that Grimes video back in the day off
That's
of
another thing we
studio.
did. Man, this is a throwback, y'all. What's up with the new year? Back
Check
to
out
the
that
Grimes video.
check out that
That's kind of the
Grimes
first
video.
big project I think that we did off of this wasn't
Like
it?
us totally working
But
together.
other than Ethan's short film and filming with Ethan,
Yeah.
was that before or after the Grimes?
That was Ethan was before Grimes.
Yeah.
So,
So that's all been. Oh, Ethan never appeared on this show though. But this show's all post any of that.
yeah.
But
Post
the Grimes is kind of right at the beginning of this show.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
think it might have been the first kind of project that we did on here.
Right.
Did we ever show them the Schwarzenegger movie trailer that we did?
The Terminator trailer? I think we did.
The Terminator Dark Fate.
Dark Fate.
We entered a contest where we made a Terminator Dark Fate trailer out of video and sound bites they had.
Yeah.
And the one that won was confusing, to say the least.
It was different.
But also the same for the Grimes competition, frankly. The one that won, by comparison to what Master Phil had created, I thought was laughable, frankly. It still had some markers in it and stuff from the render not being quite clean, where my man put a clean render on that shit that was like a fucking movie theater been projected into Uranus.
Well,
So there was very few spots where we did anything that made it look anything other than super, super professional. Whereas what won was borderline amateurish, but still somewhat creative. I don't know. They must have been looking for different criteria in each of those two scenarios
yeah,
to have chosen what they did over what we entered.
sure. And I think at the time, the Grimes video definitely helped us bring our skills together just to
Yeah, I mean,
video like.
Yeah, we were still kind of evolving, from both video and audio perspective at that point. So it would be interesting to go back and listen closely to that.
Listen and watch.
I imagine I didn't do the best job at mixing and mastering it necessarily. It was all software.
Yeah.
So, now I've changed my process so that I generally go back out into hardware again at some point along the production.
Wow. So that's a big change from that
Yeah,
time.
and what's in Quadrant 4 now is the amplifiers for the main monitors. That's another change. Another big change was that they were facing the client couch,
Oh yeah.
and now they're right above the mix position,
Yeah. The whole time, like the
which I think I can display.
JBL. Yeah.
I think you'll see them perhaps in the overhead a little bit. Let's see. Do you see
yeah,
the
we're
corners
the
of
overhead.
them? There are.
Okay, here I'll switch it to just the overhead.
Oh, it's going to be rough though.
Yeah, it's gonna look rough, but at least you'll be able to see. But you can't even see them, I don't think.
I mean, they're above the monitors in such a way that they aren't really being displayed.
Right.
So that's where they went, though.
Yeah.
Above
Right
the
above
monitors. Wow, I think I got it more crooked than it was before, trying to keep it from being crooked.
It was better than that one time, though.
Yeah.
It's still a little crooked, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not bad. Not too bad, guys.
Yeah. Symmetry isn't absolutely paramount to me like it is for some. My setup there in that fourth quadrant is close to on center, but it's not quite. Both the machine and the keyboard are, I think, a little bit right of center of the monitor. So, some concessions had to be made in order to arrange it in the way that it is. But as a result of the arrangement, we have a lot of useful things in a small space, and They aren't really interfering with one another. And that includes 2 sets of monitors to AB between, and then the third set that's up above at a standing height, which is what I was mentioning before, the main monitors that are not any longer in front of the client couch, but are now moved to right above the mix position monitors at a standing height. So often people are standing behind me while I'm mixing, and now they can hear in speakers that are at their ear height.
Yeah.
And might have mentioned something about that. Did we ever do a stream on that? Probably didn't.
You know what? I don't think that we did.
I don't think we ever have.
We had those speakers on the, like, right in front of the couch for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
For a while. But once he moved them up there, it definitely opened up the room. Makes it kind of cool for people to stand around and listen to them, right? Like,
well, they are midfield monitors rather than near field. So that's why they were where they were across from the client couch, because they could have been a little farther away that way than just what triangulated near fields are.
Right.
And the same goes for them in the new position. They're meant for standing farther away from, which is like what they call a midfield monitoring situation.
Right.
So it's not quite full distance and not quite near field. It's in the middle.
It's in the middle.
The midfield.
Midfield.
Yeah.
I was a midfielder in baseball.
Yeah, I think David Beckham is a midfielder in soccer. So.
I think it's supposed to be infielder in baseball. I like mix the two up.
It was well done.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
It makes sense. Midfield.
Isn't there a band?
Oh,
called midfield or something, right?
Is there a midfield?
The one that does the one that I thought was the Cars. The Infield.
Oh, the Infield is what it is. Yeah.
There's a band called the Infield.
Yeah.
What song is it that they do?
It's one of them. Coach.
Is it? Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. It probably is. No, I don't think so. I think it's one of those 80s, like, you know, who's going to drive you home sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the one
the 80s. The 80s is definitely one of those solid movements. The synth movement going on right now with synthwave and
yeah. It's significantly influenced our production all along and continues to do so even now.
Sure.
But you know, it's a big part of the studio now because of how prevalent it has become. Where before it was about the 60s and 70s sound, now we're incorporating 80s and 90s sounds into things as well.
Yeah.
You know, so
for sure.
That includes a lot of different synthesizers and stuff like that. That it's really cool how there's new virtual versions of all these synthesizers made by companies like Native Instruments and Arturia that, you know, they do such a good job with it that it feels very much like playing a real synthesizer oftentimes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you know, it's our studio is the way of the future, because instead of a bunch of racks of gear and a bunch of, you know, keyboard stands of keyboards and synths and stuff, we just have like a controller, a MIDI controller, you know, Native Instruments keyboard, and as you can see there, and you know, all the synthesizers are virtual.
Right.
And the same goes for the rack. Essentially, we've got one rack that's, you know, I think 16 times that's 2, tall. Probably 30, 28 to 32 spaces of a rack or whatnot is all that we're using, and then the rest of it is virtual versions of rack gear.
Yeah.
Made mostly by Universal Audio, because their shit is unbelievable.
Right.
We've talked a little bit about some of it and shown you some of the things we do, like using their guitar pedals on any source you want, because in the virtual realm, it doesn't matter what impedance shit is.
In the virtual realm, it doesn't matter.
Now we're in the infinity times infinity verse, where nothing, no normal
really
rules
matters.
of physics and matter apply.
Yeah. I believe Kirk Hammett, or not Kirk Hammett. Is it Kirk Hammett that would say that?
No, Kirk Hammett's the guitar player.
I was thinking that the guitar player is the lead singer. What's the lead singer's name for Metallica again?
James Hetfield.
James Hetfield, right. So, to him, nothing really matters.
Yeah, specifically, nothing else matters.
Yeah, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're welcome, Internet, for that little tidbit of knowledge.
Exactly.
If you didn't know who's saying nothing else matters, it's James Hetfield in Metallica.
There you go. So,
so yeah, that's right there is our virtual environment that includes a lot of synthesizers that, there aren't here like there would be generally in an old school studio. So in a very similar manner to which all of our inputs are on cascaded universal audio interfaces and opticals coming in from this mixer I have before me here. We have the same sort of thing with all the kinds of gear that we have here. We've got virtual drum styles available with these electronic drums. So it's like having a bunch of different drum kits, And then they can be MIDI controllers as well for all the drum sounds we have available to us.
Right.
And then, the same sort of thing applies in each and every scenario where there's a recording potential.
Oh, yeah.
The microphone in the vocal booth is the sphere that has microphone models that you can change even after the fact. You apply it to the unaffected version that you print, and then you can change the microphone that you used because of
afterwards.
Mic modeling.
Yeah, after the fact.
After the fact, even. We choose one to hear in the headphones during it, but then sometimes we change it even after the fact into a different one.
Right.
So every scenario you have here, we have a modernized version of what the traditional LA or Nashville setup studio would be
right.
Well, we have the full scale shit just in modernized convenient packaging.
Right. And so it's Infinity times Infinity Studios where hardware meets software and it all comes together in this like huge mechanical digital brain that just it's a bunch of neurons, wires everywhere. I mean, if we could just like point out, like how many wires we use, it would be crazy.
Yeah, Capitol Studios once had a measure of how many miles of cable they had in their studio.
Really?
Yeah. So they used like, so many miles of cable.
Right.
To wire it all.
Oh, for sure. And like,
that's one of the ways that we actually have improved greatly over the old way.
Yeah.
Because we have things like a network cable running a bunch of channels of audio across rooms and stuff like that.
Which is wild, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like futuristical, That's why it's welcome to the new era in 2022.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Network
What's the
cable
title?
Running.
What's the title of our stream again?
So what's crazy is that network
New
cable...
Year, New Infinity.
Yeah, New Year, New Infinity. What's
you
crazy...
thought Infinity was infinite, but hey, now it's the new Infinity.
Yeah. It's the new Infinity. Just check this out. Like this Cat 5 cable or Cat 6 cable can now do video or audio.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, we've run long distance video, as in the vocal booth camera, right? Little ZV Wonder in there doing his thing, which we don't have shown this week. I don't think we're running camera picture in picture.
No, we're not.
So that's cool. We don't really need it.
We don't really need it. There's not
movement in that quadrant,
anymore.
And that's fun anyway. But
Stream, yeah.
that quadrant generally has a picture in picture with it, with the vocal booth in there in one of the corners, and that camera has Cat 5 cable running in between it for the HDMI on either end. It's got this thing that,
there.
Yeah, it's got this thing that converts to HDMI on either end.
Yeah.
And then runs the length of back there into the vocal booth with that. And then we also have Cat 5 coming out of the back of this, running over there to what feeds all of the headphone monitor mixers. And also it feeds the S16 in there. It has the opticals going to the universal audio stuff with the 16 channels right here going into it.
And we also have Cat 5 going into the Sling Studio.
And all this was configured last year, actually. You know, now that I think about it, like our setup has evolved gradually to include all this stuff.
That's true. It's
so
like
you watch. That's what our episodes have been about. So you, the viewers who have stuck with us all this time, have seen all this stuff that we're recapping probably.
Go back to the beginning. What we should do is like a time lapse from the beginning, like all the way to now.
Right. Like we could make an upload that's at least got like 10 seconds of stuff up through. Yeah, but we talk about all these things about like uploading or doing different things on channels and stuff like that. But then, reality kicks in after that, and frankly, like there's really been very few times that we've been able to do it. So, one of the ones that we did, like the "Wish I Knew You" cover that Reese did, it was what we have been hoping to do here all along, right? We sort of took all these elements and combined them and created an edited, uploaded video, that showcases what's here in the studio and the talent of an artist, and also the visual video capabilities and talents of the master Phil editing styles.
And the audio vocal styles of DJ Dank over here. So
yeah. So that's after we did those competitions and entered that stuff. The logical evolution was to do some more music stuff, and we basically, after we did Steve's thing, we didn't really have any other musical guests, and we did our own jamming for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. So we have incorporated music like as a regular thing. When Derek is here, we often will play music during the stream. So we're still working on getting him and some of the other people that have played music with us to do some music on the stream, as well as some other people that come and work here in the studio also.
Yep.
And we'll try, just like before, we'll say that we're going to do it, and hopefully it's true. This time, right? It's not always possible, but we definitely want to make it happen, and we try our best each and every time, I think. So.
I'm not uncertain that we're going to upload.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we eventually will upload another thing. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
It just may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but soon.
Day.
Forever and for the rest of our lives.
Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But someday.
But someday and forever for the rest of our lives.
Yes. Anyway, if you guys have made it to this far, you should at least subscribe, like the video, do what buttons. You gotta do, click on things. Yeah, I think that's what you do with a computer, right?
Push the thumbs up.
This is the best tech show. I think you're just supposed to...
You do like this? Do things.
You're really close to your face.
I told you to subscribe.
Subscribe, please. Okay, and then...
does the red mean that I am subscribed or that I'm not?
If you're on Twitch, then look at our YouTube. If you're on YouTube, look at our Twitch. We just got to cross the streams like that.
Yeah. Yes. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. You call the Ghostbusters and you're in control.
That's right. That's right. Oh, yeah.
My performance for the evening.
There we go. That's how we're in the music category.
Yeah. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. They call the Ghostbusters and they're in control. What's funny is that Ghostbusters theme song, it was because they wanted it to sound like Huey Lewis. So it's almost the exact same song as I Got a New Drug, or I Want a New Drug, or whatever, by Huey Lewis.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how it was created?
When there's something strange in the neighborhood, who you gonna call?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I want a new drug. One that won't belly round. One that won't belly round. One that won't.
Yeah.
I want a new drug. Uh-huh. It's like the same song almost.
Right.
And this is the dum 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 boom 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 banana banana. That was almost exactly the Huey Lewis tune as well.
They added a little flair there. Right.
Yeah.
Of course. Add a little texture.
Yeah, the guy that they hired to do it, it was like... because he was told that we wanted to be like Huey Lewis, he was like, all right, I'm making something exactly fucking like Huey
You
Lewis.
do that. He's like, this will be easy.
I'll rip off Huey Lewis's new song right now.
Right.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
But, you know, here you go. There you go, Internet. Another beautiful music nugget
For you.
to
Music
treasure.
nuggets that you can take home.
Treasure for always. That you can come to Infinity Times Infinity Studios internet TV show
Yeah.
and walk away with for your times of your lives.
Right. So, you know,
All of the times of all of your lives.
all of the times the infinity. Okay.
Times.
It's the this
All
this
of
is
the times.
if there's anything we can leave you with, it's with the Infinity Times Infinity
Times.
Studios logo.
Good times.
Look at
Huh?
that down there.
Good
Yeah.
times. That's what we should say, right? Until next time, good times.
Until next time, good times.
No, we're not doing that. See, that's why we do these live shows. We can test this kind of stuff, and immediately we know it sucks balls, and we're not going to do it.
We'll put it to the vote. Does it suck balls or not?
Should we say to infinity and
eggplant
beyond?
emoji if it's good. Peach emoji if it's a...
Shit emoji. If it's shit.
Oh yeah, poop emoji. That's easy enough.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I think that's good for an episode. I'm not sure.
Look, if we continue, this is going to get really out of control.
It gets
so.
really ugly after this, you guys.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
once we
all.
turn the button off, it gets really ugly.
So that's all you get.
So that's all you get today.
So that's it, and that's all.
All right.
Konnichiwa, samae-san.